Hey, Rob here from Part Gurus. You know, to get a quality metal fabricated part or an assembly or box build, it's not as easy as it looks. It's not like this, every street corner has someone that's that good. Here we are in New Jersey at one of the top gurus around. It's GP Precision. We're here at their facility today looking at some really cool parts they're making. I want to talk to one of their top sales guys, TJ, and see what he knows about how this can be done for you to solve your problem.
The sheet metal fabrication industry has pushed the boundaries of what's possible to fabricate, thanks to laser cutting and laser beam welding, which significantly speeds production and raises the quality. Today on Part Gurus, we visit GP Precision in New Jersey to show you how metal fabrication has changed.
Part Gurus, watch before you source.
Hey TJ, Rob, good to see you.
Good to see you, how are you?
Tell me about what you guys do at GP Precision.
So we're a job shop. We do whatever the customer needs. One of the big things we do, this is all rack mount chassis. These are the face plates. We do the chassis behind them as well. So then we do parts like this, which is a powder-coated emergency communication system, which goes on boardwalks and in cities.
Wow. Now, do you powder coat? Do you also paint?
We wet paint, powder coat, silk screen.
Oh, look at that.
Finish.
Is your typical customer an engineer or a buyer?
Well, we deal with both.
Okay.
We'll deal with the engineers during the quoting process. Well, the buyer will initiate it, and then we deal with the engineers for any questions, you know, how the parts are made, any discrepancies we see in the drawings or anything they need changed.
Now you mentioned drawings. Is it always start with a drawing from them?
Well, no, sometimes we'll actually reverse engineer parts for them. Sometimes we'll work off a sample, reverse engineer it, and then get them a quote based on that.
So you have enough engineering staff in-house to reverse engineer a part and then give them a drawing when it's all done?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We've heard other people say that sometimes a print can be over-engineered, like the tolerances are too tight and it can't be manufacturable. What do you do with that?
We offer up suggestions on how we can change the part slightly. If we can relax tolerances, move some bends around, things like that. And if they're agreeable, we can make the part.
But what's your capacity from how big to how small on something like a chassis or a frame? What's the length and width kind of things?
We could bend up to about 6 feet.
6 feet in length on a press brake?
Press brake outside, yep.
So this part I've been holding like it was the microphone. Tell me a little bit about, that's a lot of bends going on.
Yeah, this starts as a flat piece, and then we bend it according to how it's going to fit best on the brake without interfering with any of the other bends.
So this is maybe how many steps? What's your guess on this one?
12 steps on this?
12 steps.
Yep.
But it's not a progressive die like a stamping though. It's in a press brake bent.
Press brake bent up, yep. This is used for parts that get dipped into finishing.
Oh, look at that.
Our plater.
Fantastic array of parts. But enough of this. I want to see how these are made. Show me the shop. Let's go.
Right.
Come on. So tell me, what is this area of the shop called?
So this is our laser area and punch press.
So these are, what type of lasers
These are our 2 fiber optic lasers. This one is about a year old.
They look like they can knock out a lot of work fast.
It's fast and efficient.
And efficient, yeah.
Yep.
And what do we have over here? What's this strip it?
This is our punch press. So we have 2 of those. This one has more stations and more options for tooling.
And you have 2 of those, wow.
Yes. So the punch press is more for, a lot of perf patterns, a lot of small repeated
perf
hits.
patterns, so like a whole bunch of small little perforations.
Like
honeycomb.
Yep.
Okay.
So the tooling's got, a lot of repeated punches. So this is where the basic process starts with cutting the parts in the flat. This one's, the laser's much more efficient.
So this is set up on a whole big giant sheet and the laser comes in and can cut all kinds of things that are programmed to do it and it's hands away, hands off.
You set it, you walk away, and it cuts the sheet for you.
Just set it and forget it.
Yep.
The benefits of the laser though are?
Efficiency, the edge quality. A lot of times you don't need to deburr them.
Does the fact that this is CAD-driven give you any advantage or things that you can do?
Yeah, it's really good for short runs.
Is it even like a prototype kind of
Yeah,
thing?
you can prototype with it a lot more efficiently.
So some people do prototypes using a different process than what the real thing's gonna be made of. You're actually using the right material with the right machine. That's what it would look like in the end run if they made 100,000 of them.
Yeah, the proper prototype.
The proper prototype. The proper prototype.
Nesting it, we can reduce the amount of waste on the part. So we'll get as many parts on a one sheet as we can, which would save them, cut down on the waste.
So I saw little strips left over there where like hundreds of parts were cut out and what you were throwing of it was almost like tissue paper, nothing.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal, perfect. So after the parts are started here, where's it go next?
Over to the press brake.
Let's take a look.
Okay, now let me ask you about your track record for delivery.
What do you think about a 99.8% on-time delivery record? It's what we aim for with every client.
Nice.
We are fanatics about on-time delivery.
All right, here's one of the press brakes here. This is this, like you said, a Cincinnati.
It's our Cincinnati press. Yep.
All right, so this has a lot of bends.
Yes. So they would follow that forming chart up here.
Okay, got it.
Which is universal, so everybody in the shop, whoever's working each brake, follows the same pattern.
So if a guy came in here, he would know what he was making if he didn't even know about it beforehand. It's there, it's obvious.
They could stop mid-job, he could hop on, and he knows.
Wow, consistency. What makes you choose one machine over another?
Each machine has a different tonnage of which you're able to bend, so depending on the thickness of the part, we'll jump from machine to machine.
Now, is it always aluminum that you're bending?
No.
What else
Aluminum, steel, stainless, galvanized, galvanneal.
So tell me about this European tooling we were joking about earlier.
So it's interchangeable. So you can make different sizes, different depths, all by adding and subtracting certain pieces of the
it's pretty
of the
smart.
tooling. So you're not buying new tools for each job,
Oh,
but it's the cost savings for
that
customers.
cost savings for the customer,
Yeah.
for sure.
So here's the tooling.
So it's got I see
They all
a
have
curved
different
shape
angles,
here
they
that
all-
matches this.
Yes. So this part in the flat will get rotated around the machine and eventually wind up looking like that.
Okay, this looks like a puzzle. How do you know which one to bend first?
That's why we have good engineers. That's their job.
And it comes out onto the sheet that tells it.
Yes.
Fantastic. I love this. TJ, this looks like it's a pre-finished part. How does it look like this?
So that's part of our deburring process, which we have a time saver and a flatter, which
Okay.
I'm gonna go check it out. So this is our flatter. This deburs the parts. So this has thousands of little pieces of sandpaper on it, and it spins, so you get an orbital finish. And what it's really good for is parts with like electronics and wires. This gets in and deburs all the holes.
So you do this first and the part looks perfect and then you bend it up. It's not like you're finishing it after and all those corners and stuff can't be done. This is very smart.
Exactly, and it leaves an orbital finish on the part too. As opposed to the time saver, which is the more traditional.
Show me this time saver thing.
So the time saver is essentially one big piece of sandpaper. This is what goes inside of it. This spins and deburs the edges on flat parts.
Wow. Now, looks like you have another time saver. This
We
one
have two
looks,
of them,
looks
yes.
brand new.
Yep, that's our brand new one.
Hey, TJ, walking by, I noticed you got some really cool hardware on these things.
Yep, so we have a whole section just for hardware. Obviously, this is one of the last steps we do after the parts are finished. We use PEM nuts, which is the best in the business, in our opinion. We have 4 auto feed Hager hardware insertion machines, and we have thousands of options of hardware you can choose from.
Now, not every piece needs to have hardware installed, but you guys do it on probably a lot of what you make.
Good amount, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of chassis. If the customer needs it, we do it.
What if I need something welded onto my
We have a whole welding department that handles that. In fact, we have one of the first laser welders around.
laser?
In fact, a laser beam welder is 5 times faster than regular TIG welding, so we get faster throughput. Instead of an arc, it's a laser beam that's being shot down onto the part, and it's automatically feeding wiring as you build on. It also then reduces heat. Heat when you're welding can distort the part. If we TIG welded all of these NPT fittings to this thin sheet metal, it would be twisted and distorted.
Before we talk about welding, what am I hearing?
That's our welder. He just welded it, so they're gonna grind it down and smooth out the weld marks.
Is this handcrafted?
You can say that, yeah.
I did. Would you say that?
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry.
Do you need help with your next metal fabricated part? We can make you something as simple as this, or we can do box builds, full assemblies, electronic enclosures, powder coating, silk screening, whatever you need. I'm TJ from GP Precision. Give me a call. We can help you design your part, re-engineer it, or just send us a drawing for an RFQ, and we can get you a quote.
Watch before you source.